Happy Halloween, everyone! And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Is Gerald Glassford? No, it's not. It's the Masked Lakers fan, everyone. Truly great to have you here. Happy Halloween. Hopefully it's been a safe and a happy one for you. Truly appreciate you joining us. Want to go ahead and make sure you catch our other shows, including the Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On this week's latest episode, I'm just going to drop here in just a couple minutes. It's the state of pro wrestling for November 2024, because in some areas, it's already November 1st, and we talk about the latest going on in AEW, WWE, TNA, and so much more, plus our picks on the all-time worst wrestlers and a new YouTube wrestling channel you got to check out, all on the state of pro wrestling right there at the Pop Culture Cosmos. Yes, Gerald Mysterio. Yes, no, I don't think I'll get the nuclear heat that Dom Mysterio gets right now. But also as well, of course, Inside Sports Fantasy Football. Go ahead and get your inside fix on fantasy football and news going on with the NFL today at Inside Sports Fantasy Football, wherever you get your podcasts. That's right, Octagon indeed. I know some people would guess Great Suzuki, but yes, Octagon from way back when, indeed. But of course, also as well, not a jersey. This is a jersey. That is a jersey, JSJ. It's a Masked Lakers fan for you. Yes, that's what I am, indeed. Also as well, Joe Soro hopefully will be here. He didn't guarantee anything. He is trick-or-treating himself as Joe Soro, scaring the entire neighborhood of Temecula. But he is Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. Plus, also as well, of course, go ahead and catch him today. And of course, also as well, at Simblades with Y.com. Our good friends, Empire Jeff, still on a super high for the Dodgers winning the World Championship. He is an Empire Jeff TV, also as well, of course, Lakers in 5, John McCallion channel, and Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo! Tried to get the scary yo in there. Go ahead and support all these great channels. The Lakerholics crew, Lakerholics.com. Plus, also as well, please like and subscribe to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast. And also as well, become a member today. It would be greatly helpful for us if you can. It's $2.99 a month. You get emojis, badges, you get inside information, plus you get great extras. Like I just dropped Jamie Sweet's latest 5 things for members right there for you at the Lakers Fast Break podcast. Just $2.99 a month, indeed. But it is the Lakers Fast Break. Thought I'd stop by on a Halloween evening for you guys. Okay, no worries, cool bro. It is, of course, when is the Dodgers parade? That is the major question I know a lot of people are asking. Is it tomorrow? Is it this weekend? Let's go ahead and see if I can look that up for you. Dodgers Parade 2020-24. Let's see if we got that. The latest news on it. Dodgers Parade detail. CBS Sports as of 9 hours ago has said it will be on the morning of Friday, November 1st. So tomorrow, guys, Bloodhound, going to go ahead and put it there in the chat for you guys to go ahead and reference. But it looks like tomorrow is the party for all parties. I know they partied pretty hard last night in downtown LA. I know Laker Nick was worried about it. He talked about it, about how, just people just getting crazy and breaking into stuff, breaking into places, trying to steal stuff and all that. Just, man, got to go ahead and make sure you slow down, roll, but just be happy, be celebratory, but don't go overboard on that. But yes, the party and parade is tomorrow. And tells you all about the route and all that right there in that article I put right there in the link right there. Yes, Dodgers Fast Break. No, that was only for a little bit right there. I just wanted to go ahead and get some information. Somebody was asking a question, so I'm answering the question for them, trying to help them out. But of course, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Happy Giddy Day. Well, Josh Giddey, he's been playing okay so far, so Let's see if he can continue that with the Bulls. I know you're a super fan, Xbox, and hopefully he will continue to go ahead and play well because again, it's got to justify what's going on. But right now, he's averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. He is shooting 60% from three. I don't think that will keep up, but if he can shoot somewhere near 40% for the entire season, the trade will be looking good for Chicago. Although he's only shooting 60% for the free throw line, Mark. So you got to go ahead and talk to your boy about what's going on with the free throws, man. 60% ain't going to cut it for a point guard, especially if he's going to be going to into the lane and get some fouls there. But it is, of course, yes, Intel. Yeah, I heard that. Last week we talked about it, Intel, on this show last week about the lawsuit in regards to the former staffer for the Clippers that got fired for calling out some of the shenanigans that may be going on in regards to the Kawhi injury. Yeah, we talked about it at length the other day on the show. And yeah, it just shows you that sometimes the stuff around Kawhi and all the mystery and all that stuff with his own doctors and his own crew. And yeah, it seems very strange what's going on right now with Kawhi Leonard. But yeah, it's leading to a lawsuit. And oh well, clip's gonna clip indeed. But let's get into the Lakers. We did hear the news earlier today that Jalen Hood-Schifino, who is in playing right now at the South Bay Lakers in the G League, even though he does have a regular contract, his career to this date has not met up to any measurement of good standards. He had his third-year option declined by the Lakers earlier today. Once again, Jalen Hood-Schifino has had his third-year option declined by the Los Angeles Lakers earlier today. So he will be a free agent, unrestricted free agent this summer. But that doesn't mean he won't come back to the Lakers. Doesn't mean he might not be signed by another team. It just means he'll be a free agent out there come the summer. And I guess that means that he'll be out there looking for a job, probably somewhere else. But I want to talk to you. And JSJ has said it. JSJ, does this mean he's officially a bust? For the Lakers, I believe you could pretty much say he is officially bust unless something happens later on this season. I doubt seriously which it will. Yes, to you as well, cool bro. Kurt Affair maybe he never healed properly from his back injury. Why didn't he say anything? If that's the case, Kurt, why did he? Is it something that they're hiding behind the scenes? What's going on with that? If he is healthy, then why did he seem like he was the MVP again in training camp? What's going on there? It's just the fact that when he goes out there, both years, before he hurt his back, before he had the back issues, and now he has just he's never looked like he has been a NBA level player. He just doesn't look like he's been smooth enough as far as his jumper is concerned from long range. Doesn't look like he has much in the way of confidence in it. Defensively, he is absolutely atrocious. If he wants to be a point guard in the league, he is probably, he's got good size, but unfortunately, it also works against him because the fact is his athletic ability, his side-to-side movement is just really atrocious. So, yeah, it's just been very disappointing from the get-go. Obviously, we have told you ad nauseum on the show how his draft thing has, just the draft. We wanted different options. If you go back to that day, Joe Sorrell and I were on the air, and we wanted different options. We saw Cam Whitmore falling down. There was also Triple J that was out there. There was also Brandon Podziemski. Now, Stone was more, I believe, in the Podziemski camp. I know there were some others that were in the Jaime Jaquez camp, but Joe and I were in the Cam Whitmore camp. We thought he could become a big-time scorer in the league. I know that there were some concerns about his interviews, maybe some injury concerns, but you got to take that risk for someone who had top 10 talent at that point in time, who still showcases top 10 talent for that particular draft. So, yeah, it was terribly disappointing. And Intel says it right. Only his elbow jumper right there at the free throw line on the side, at the elbow, is the only thing that really has looked good about his game. His finishing has been very suspect. He's not athletically gifted enough to be able to get by people or go over people. It's just he gets by, and the only game that he really has is he fakes from the 3-point line, and as Intel said, he goes to the elbow for the jumper. That's the only thing he's been able to that's looked anywhere near adequate for him on an NBA level. Robert Wheeler says, Gerald, who do you think needs to be the third best player on the Lakers in order for the Lakers to win a lot of games? Or is it better to have it change from game to game? Robert, I just don't think there is anyone on this team, including Austin Reeves, that could qualify consistently as that third level player at this point in time. Could Austin develop it? There's a possibility. I think he could still develop into that on a consistent basis. Also, don't rule out.
You're awesome.
Thank you, Intel. Truly appreciate it. Dalton Connect is probably someone as well that, as we saw, by matter of attrition, the matter of fact that this is one of the most disappointing draft classes ever, he does have the highest single game so far this young season for a rookie, and that's only because he scored the 18 in garbage time. So I'm not taking too much from that. Risa Shea has 17, and then of course Ryan Dunn, who has played really well for Phoenix, he just got 16 tonight against the Clippers. So I'd say it has to be somewhat different at this point in time, because I just don't think that they have anyone right now that should be relied upon as a number 3 consistently right there. It just does not look like they have someone that's going to give them consistently what they need. I'm encouraged by Austin Reeves shooting. It is much better than than we thought it would be coming into the season, because we had our concerns about it. But yeah, right now I just don't see someone that you're going to consistently rely on to as a number 3 option. I guess at this point in time, maybe Austin Reeves is the closest thing to it. But yeah, we've gone down this road before with Austin, and he kind of let us down with his play. But now that he had a full summer off, he didn't have to go do any FIBA. He didn't have to do anything other than playing golf, relax. It looks like his shot is better. He looks like he has more energy. So it looks like it's something that maybe could develop as far as a consistent 3. But then again, if Austin Reeves is your number 3, what does that really say about your team? Because as I've always said, he is probably best suited as a 6th guy off the bench coming in there for a playoff team. That's probably his best role indeed. Well, look who's here. Happy Halloween, my friend. It is Rob Pelinka? No, Danzig. There you go. It's Danzig himself.
How does this look like Rob Pelinka?
You were asked by so many people to be doing your Rob Pelinka.
Man, Halloween is supposed to be spooky, but I'm not going to scare the shit out of everyone doing that.
You did it once before.
I know.
All right.
Try to be original sometimes.
All right. Well, it is Danzig himself. Of course, you know him as Joe Soro. Joe, great to have you here, my friend. We got the news earlier today about JHS. JHS, the Lakers have not, they're declined to tender an option and pick up his 3rd year on his contract. Milwaukee did the same as well for their guy, actually the 4th year option for Beaucamp. But with JHS, I think it's come down to it. They made a pretty quick decision that the JHS experiment is not going to work out. JSJ has said he's a bust, and I think this is probably a definitive statement that he is just that.
Yeah, it's always an interesting observation on what a bust is. Is a 17th overall pick a bust if he doesn't work out? Is that a high enough pick to be a bust? I don't know. I go back and forth on that one. However, we do know that they didn't draft the best player possible at that moment. We knew that 100% because there was someone on the board that should have been picked. And I'm not talking about guys that are the 2020 hindsight picks like Triple J out in Miami or Podzgajewski in Golden State. See, it's easy to say, oh, we should have got one of those guys. But those were not definites. Even there was obviously good scouting, good talks about them, but it became a reality that they were going to be good NBA players later. Cam Whitmore was a guaranteed talent. Whether he was going to go AWOL or whatever was irrelevant. Should have picked him. And it was a mistake that might cost you for a very long time. Not because I think Cam Whitmore is going to be some perennial all-star, but what you did was you didn't pick at least a role player in what the Lakers.
Well, let me ask you this. He's such a good scorer. Do you think he can score average 20 in the league? I'm not saying an all-star either, but do you think he can average 20 in the league seeing what you've seen?
Yeah.
I think you just answered that question there.
Yes, and he would have done very well with LeBron and AD.
Yeah.
He would have had more space. He could jump out the building. I had correlated him. I had connected him to like a Shannon Brown, but he's actually better than Shannon Brown. But even if he became Shannon Brown, it would have been better than this. It was a bad pick. It was a bad pick it reminds me of Jordan Hill in 2009 when New York had just missed drafting Steph Curry. And what that told me was the New York Knicks were not prepared. They thought they were gonna get, this is my observation of it. They thought they were gonna probably get Steph Curry to slide to 7, and Golden State took him a slot ahead of the Knicks, changing probably the Knicks' fortune for 20 years. It's pretty nuts. Not a lot of people talk about that. But had Golden State not picked Steph Curry, the Knicks would have picked Steph Curry, and how different would things be right now? And they ended up getting Jordan Hill instead, which was at that time he's a better player than JHS. But when you kind of factor in Steph Curry, Jordan Hill, it was an unmitigated disaster.
It's just a problem, though, as we come back. It is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Danzig, along with me, the masked Lakers fan. Truly appreciate you joining us. Wanted to go ahead and say this leaves a bigger problem. The admittance, I mean, of course, they're not going to say it, but just by their actions, it's the front office. It's Rob Pelinka admitting a mistake, admitting that this was a wrong choice, because I know that in the chat they had mentioned that, does this mean his back still might be hurting? The fact that he's not been able to play. But the only thing I would come back to is he never looked good at any stretch of the imagination. I want to see and want to know why he was thought of as the MVP of camp 2 years in a row, because it's just never connected when he's gone out of the court for the Los Angeles Lakers, Joe.
Well, I'm going to read something to you, which is just still kind of in shock. This is Jalen Hood-Schifino's comp. His comp was Malcolm Brogdon. And here's his strengths. And follow me here as best you can, guys. I'll try to keep this quick. Hood-Schifino is a strong-bodied combo guard who stands 6'6". I'm sorry, folks. Does he look 6'6" to you?
He looks at least 6'4", but I don't know if
he looks like he's 6'4", maybe even 6'3.5". But anyways, 6'6", with good length. He's got a 6'10" wingspan. Okay. Mature build. I don't know what that means, looking at his physique. Is tailored made for physical play on both ends of the court. I don't know where the hell they got that from. Fits well in slow-paced half-court offense in an era of basketball where slow-paced half-court offense is not really the thing. Is most comfortable handling the ball, okay, being calculating and taking his time to find his favorite spots. Okay, I'm sorry, folks. But did these idiots watch the NBA the last 5 years? Now, I could read more, but it's going to sound just as stupid as what I've just said. I don't know what the hell happened with this. I don't know who. Was this a scam? I mean, if I didn't know who this player was, I would have thought this guy was a top 5 player. A 6'6" guy who can with wingspans and can apparently be a point guard. 6'6" point guard's pretty good. I mean, we could have definitely used that. That's a Phil Jackson uh height point guard. Mature build. What's these guys' interpretation of a mature build? You know what a mature build is? Someone like Rui Hachimura. That's a mature build. Jalen Hood-Schifino is not matured build. He's and the thing is, if he was lanky and not mature, can we get some speed a little bit? And why are you using slow paced as a strength in a league where the point guards or even the off guard needs to be fast? Don't we already have small or 6'6", 6'4" guards that can't really move laterally and D'Angelo Russell? And that was the thing here. Rob got him to replace D'Angelo. Was that me?
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, your modem went crazy and then it kicked you out. But you're good now. You got 5 bars now.
It's a bad story.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst decisions in a long line of bad decisions by this organization. Terrible owner, terrible general manager, and terrible player GM ploys that have been going on for the last 6 months. And in watching the Dodgers and how they've operated here in the last year or so, I am gonna start campaigning hard that the Guggenheims start to figure out a way to bid to get the Lakers. Because if somebody like that does not come in and take over, this is never going to go away. Not with this man, not with this owner. Jeannie has no. They tried with Jim Buss. I don't know what Johnny's existence is. Dr. Buss did everything he could to try to enable his kids to be leaders and all that. And I don't. All my stuff is based off of documentaries and fake movies. I'm not going to get into those details. All I do know is if somebody really knew what they were doing in that family, they would have done it by now. No one knows what the hell they're doing. It's time to sell. It's time to sell and get AEG out as well, because it doesn't look like they're doing anything either. So I'm just saying, I think it's time that there needs to be some push with Jeannie to sell the team. And I highly recommend you sell it to the Guggenheims, because the second those guys came in to LA in 2013, there has been nothing but grade A organization there. Now, we've been upset as Dodger fans about not winning enough championships. I've been upset with certain leadership from the manager's side. However, one thing I've never said is they're not competing, that they're not in it. And you also have to factor in that there was a freakish situation that's not typical, at least not in my lifetime. And that's, you had those gutter rat trash pieces of shit in Houston that ruined baseball for a couple of years with the Red Sox and cheating. And we don't know where that could have gone had it not happened. So yeah, it's done, folks. It's done. And I told you I'm not going to say I told you so here, but I do think that the Lakers have a good chance of beating Toronto, especially now that Scotty Barnes is out with an injury. They could finish this road trip winning the next 3 games. However, if they don't, there's going to be that issue that we've been talking about that's probably going to start to materialize. And it's just not, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. My frustration with yesterday's game wasn't so much the fact that they didn't win. It was the fact that they were still more concerned about something else that has nothing to do with winning basketball.
And before I get to Intel Super Chat, I just want to say again, guys, I mean, some of you guys are trying to, trying to defend JHS, saying he played well in the G League. I'm saying at an NBA level, in summer league, in preseason games, both last season and this season, he just has not looked like he's an NBA caliber player. He has never looked like it in the short amount of games that he played last season before he was in the G League or during the G League. It just shows that he has not been able to go ahead and play at that level. It's just obviously there's a big leap between the G League and the NBA, and it clearly shows if he's playing well in the G League, but still cannot do anything at the NBA level. It just shows you what kind of chasm, Danzig, that there is between those two leagues. So I had to identify because like people are saying that I can't read out his name. What is Joe's name? And I'm like, he's Danzig. Oh, Danzig. Yes, he's Danzig. Yes. So I just wanted to go
They
ahead.
probably don't know who the hell Danzig is, half of them.
Yeah.
Maybe show him a picture. Show him a picture.
Okay, I'll bring it up in a sec. But let me just Intel Super Chat while I give it to you. Imagine if West RIP was still our GM and the Lakers told him we want to pick our last pick on Bronny Jr. His response would be a whole bunch of expletives. I could assure you on that as well, Intel. Great Super Chat. Thank you so much. So Danzig, while I search for a good picture of Danzig, again, please explain to everyone out there that yes, while his numbers were okay at the G League level and acceptable in many ways, he has just never been able to translate it. And most likely, well, I don't want to say most likely, but at least at this level, he's not going to be able, as of yet, to been able to translate it all at an NBA level.
He hasn't had one game where he's done anything. He's nothing. He's done nothing. Even those who have migrated to Memphis, the Castletons and the Scottie Pippen Juniors and the Joe Huffs. Did I say Joe? Is it Joe Huff?
Joe Huff. Guess what, Joe? Guess who Memphis just picked up?
Castleton.
Yes.
Yes. So these guys at least played in games where they did something. This guy, did he do anything ever in 2 years? I never really saw him do anything except maybe play the last 5 minutes of a game. I don't think.
You're missing the cross, Danzig. So there you go. There's Danzig there for you.
So yeah.
All right. And Joe, yes. You with us again? Yes, you are, man.
I'll be back.
You got it. No worries. But just want to, all right. Got you. Oh, no, he's going back. So it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. Truly appreciate when I first saw JHS, he looked slow to me. Shake my head by Intel. It's just a matter of he just does not have enough athletic ability, and the practice he's got to supplement that with a game where he is good off the pass, he is smart going through screens, and he can hit jump shots from beyond the three, and he's just not able to do that at this point in time. So it's just disappointing, or going to be a disappointing end most likely for JHS. And again, there's always Memphis, I guess, for him because Memphis seems to pick up all of our old Lakers. But there you go. There's Danzig for you, Danzig. There
can you find another picture?
I'll see if I can find another picture. All right. While I do that, but yeah, can you just say at this point in time, what does it speak for the larger picture in regards to add on to what you were saying earlier? I mean, the fingers need to start pointing, Joe. They need to start pointing in the direction of the front office. They need to start pointing at.
Let me come back, Gerald. Let me come back again.
No worries. They need to start focusing on the front office. And as Joe's trying to reboot his computer, it's just an issue of where they're making wrong choices on players. They're committing to players that they should not be committing to. And that's part of the problem because you've got so many players that are unusable in an everyday, every game basis that are not going to help you win games. And whether you consider, the fact that JHS is taking up a roster spot, a full roster spot, Bronny James is taking up a full roster spot, Maxwell Lewis is taking up a full roster spot. Cam Reddish, whatever your thoughts on him, he has not done anything this year, so he is taking up a full roster spot. And then, it comes to the players there as far as Max Christie. A lot of you guys are really like us. They're starting to, say that, what, Max Christie is just not ready for being able to be a regular contributor off the bench that's going to get us good productive minutes, that's going to get us 10 to 12 points a game. I was hearing over the course of the summer, you guys, when you heard that Max Christie got the contract, oh, this means that the team has a lot of faith in him. He's going to be that guy that's going to come off the bench. He's going to average 12 to 15 points. He can do that. He can do that. Well, getting him to 5 points seems to be an issue. So with that, Joe, again, I think this speaks about the larger concerns that we have about the team and its roster construction. You were talking about it earlier before you got cut off. I mean, please, I think this is just a larger imprint about the mistakes Rob Pelinka has made in recent years.
His mistakes have been catastrophic. It's not fixable. It's done. And there's really no more time to dwell on it because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. The entertainment element of it all is gone as well. The expletives after
Is that
the
a
draft.
younger one for you?
I'm not looking for a younger one. I'm just looking for something that looks
because
more.
all the other ones they're coming up are similar to the ones I showed you. Because
all right, good. That's fine. Okay, I think everybody knows.
He's got 20 years on you, Joe.
Okay, good. So it's no longer this. Again, the entertainment value is gone. It's no longer productive for us to sit here and keep dwelling on the fact that this guy is a complete and utter disaster and ownership is a complete and utter disaster. We need to start analyzing each game and explaining each game and maybe what's going on, tell the truth of what's going on there, seeing what kind of improvements may be coming Dalton Connect's way, because Dalton Connect's really the only bright spot in this thing in terms of a developed player. And then you have Austin Reeves and Rui, whom are classic, perfect role players. The kind of role players that would be perfect on a team that's competing and coming off the bench. D'Angelo Russell, there's a very good chance he gets out of this and starts playing well because that's his MO. The MO is he starts slow, starts fast, starts in the middle, starts whatever, misses shots, and then all of a sudden starts making shots. I don't know what the deal is there. I really don't. It's just what it is. He's that player. LeBron is going to bust his rear end, look like a mega star LeBron of 2016, maybe for a week, and then then it'll be more spurts of time of games where he's not, because he can't. It's just not possible. 22 years, almost 40 years old. It is what it is. AD, on the other hand, can definitely play the way he's been playing. But what happened in the last game? He hurt his hip, he hurt his butt, he hurt his leg. I don't know. Standard procedure. He's going to get hurt if he plays hard for 82 games. This is how his body is. Now, he's played through it, so I commend him on that. But
he's listed as probable for tomorrow's game.
He's correct. So it's just what it is. And as far as the Max Christie's and the Cam Reddishes and all those guys, absolutely useless. And in all honesty, this should not be on this team. Half the roster should not be on this team. The campaigning starts now, folks. I know you all are like, wait a minute, we just started the season. Okay. They're on this road trip. You guys are going to get to see some things here, but the reality is going to start hitting you really quick here. It's coming. I think the 3-game and the tight tight fourth game that they should have won, and that's the word, should and if. Should and if is there's no room for that right now. We can't keep shoulding and ifing here. There's no time. There's no more time for that. It's the results are going to be what they are. But I'm going to be campaigning heavily that the buses need to start really thinking about selling this team, and I highly recommend that the first people they go talk to are the Guggenheims, because that's the only group right now that can save this team.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Happy Halloween, everyone. It is Joe Soro, a.k.a. Danzig, along with me, Gerald Glassford, a.k.a. the Masked Lakers fan. Truly great to have you here. Joe, it is the depressing state thing for two things as far as when Dalton Connects scored that 18 in garbage time when they got trashed by the Cleveland Cavaliers. The first thing is that that's the highest scoring game for any rookie this season, as I mentioned earlier. The second thing is, I think I'm going to toll out the numbers, but the 18 points he scored might come close to matching the entire output of the season for the bench before that game. That tells you by far the Lakers bench has been the least productive bench this season. That's not going to cut it, Joe, over the course of a long 82 game season.
You want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
The reason I was late tonight is it's been a crazy playoff run here with the Dodgers, and I wouldn't have changed anything with it. It's just what it is. And then, of course, you have Halloween in here. My kids are dressed up. I dressed up a little bit, giving out candy and all that. I don't know how I look like Ron Jeremy, Che. I'd have to have like a balding area and then a mustache. Funny nonetheless.
And be in jail right now, but that's
yeah. Well, yeah. This is gonna hurt. I'm gonna be adding more fuel to the fire. So the Bucks lost today to Memphis, and they lost pretty bad. So I'm gonna read this quote. Scottie Pippen Jr. was one of the players who guarded Dame, that is Damian Lillard, the most tonight. He said he definitely took that matchup personal. Why? One of the coaches over there didn't believe in me, so I definitely wanted to show I could play some defense. I wonder who he's talking about. Anyway, you guys can probably figure that one out. So to put a button on this, Taylor Jenkins, who right now is looking like an early Coach of the Year candidate, said limiting Damian Lillard was a big focal point coming into the day. Pretty basic, boring, bland comment by the coach. Lillard finished 1 of 12 shooting with 4 points. Now, there are two things I'm getting out of this. Obviously, we saw what happened with Mr. Scottie Pippen Jr. And by the way, Scottie Jr., congratulations. I'm absolutely excited for you to continue to get better. The reason why I have a soft heart for Scottie Pippen Jr. a little bit is the amount of crap that he's probably had to deal with being associated with certain things. I'm not very particular. I'm not very happy with his mother. I think his mother has done him a disservice, a great disservice in the last few years. And that's not about personal stuff on their part. I'm talking about public humiliation of your children because of your ways. And I'm very sensitive to parents that are selfish, attention whore pieces of shit, and it affects their kids. I really felt uncomfortable when Beasley was on the Lakers. It bothered me because Scottie Pippen was there. I mean, I can't even imagine what a horror situation that would be. But anyways, we talk about the Joe Huffs. We're talking about the Castletons. We're talking about the Scottie Pippen Juniors.
Mo Wagner's. I mean, there's
Mo
there's
Wagner.
lists.
I'm not gonna harp on that. That was a trade to try to acquire somebody, but yes, that one hurts too a little bit.
Zubats,
Zubac is by far the biggest blow.
22
I
and
think
12 tonight,
the
by the way.
biggest blow I'd say in the last 5 years, no doubt. And it's been and the sad thing is they didn't have to do this. They were doing so well finding these needle in the haystacks in free agency and in the second round. And we are continuously told that we are over analyzing and over emotionalizing on the fact that this 55 pick doesn't mean anything. Everything doesn't mean anything to anybody as long as it fits your feelings, correct? The feeling should be I am a Laker fan. I am a Laker fan. I am here to watch the Lakers win. And when I see evidence where leadership is not keeping the needles in the haystack talent that they find, and then punting draft picks they have no business punting because they want to have some kind of make-a-wish foundation, and then you see how the play is. What do you want? What is it you want from that? What is it? What's your answer to that, Joe? Why are you so taking this so seriously? Why that it's just a game? But no, it's not. It's not just a game. It's my time, and you all know I hate my time being wasted.
Until Wild.
Jay, I think Jay's his first. It's Joe's first name, and he
It's
calls
J
himself
Huff.
Jay.
It's J Huff.
I think I've been watching Stone Cold, the movie Stone Cold, too much, so I said Joe Huff.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no worries.
That was
Intel Wild, thank you for the super chat. It's Joe being Chris Angel for Halloween. Mind freak. There you go.
Yeah, I think Chris Angel could work too.
There you
That
go.
would work too. My daughter wore this for one of the characters in Barbie, and I said, and I put it on, and it matched my hair color in a lot of ways. I was like, wow, this actually looks, it's a little darker, obviously, but I go, yeah, black hair. This kind of goes with the flow.
There you go.
But
I do
anyways,
want to make a correction before Sean Harder sends me an email. You don't need to send me an email. The Lakers bench has not been that atrocious, but the 18 points scored yesterday by Dalton Connect is about 1/3 or close to 1/3 what the Lakers bench had scored over the course of the first 4 games. So just to give you an idea, it's still not very pretty when you look at it. They are still the worst productive bench in the league, Joe. And that is going to be a problem continuously for this team going forward, unless they can find something. Again, I have advocated, and Intel and some others have started to agree with me on that. I think that Connect needs to be your guy coming off the bench, to see whether he can light it up. I think it just brings out so many different dynamics. If he can get on a heater like we've seen him get on a heater before in this garbage time. We got to see if he's for real. You got to see if he's for real, and he could do it during the first and second quarters as opposed to the uncontested fourth quarters. What are your thoughts on Dalton Connect? I understand he's a rookie and we shouldn't be relying that much on him right now, but the problem is, where do we go if you can't go Dalton at this point off the bench?
there's no one. That's it. You all got to start coming down to earth and understanding that this team has no bench guys really. Dalton is a rookie and he can get on a heater, but it's a rookie player, and I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on a rookie. Sorry, so it's just not going to do that. Now, as far as answering the question Mark had about retiring LeBron's number, I wouldn't be surprised if that dolt put a statue of LeBron outside Staples.
Using the same sculptor for D Wade's.
I scale back sometimes because I am a human being, and I do feel like, wait a minute, maybe I'm being too harsh, but it's not about, you're not doing your job. What happens when you're not doing your job in the real world? You get fired. You can't fire the owner. There's plenty of deadbeat owners, Jim Irsay, James Dolan before World Wide West came in, though. So he's kind of righted the ship a little bit. the Mike Browns, the Bidwells, the McCaskies, the Fords. There's so many bad owners in sports. And I think the depressing part about this is the fact that I don't know if Jeannie will ever sell the team until maybe her time is done physically, right? And who takes over then? Is it going to be Jesse? Is it going to be Joey? God help us all. This team needs to go to somebody else. It needs to go to someone reliable. No, not Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Doesn't give two shits about sports. That guy's trying to save everything he can to go to space. He don't care about sports. Jeff Bezos, why would he care about the Lakers? I mean, I guess he can buy them and put the right people together, but I just don't see. I don't see why that is always the case.
The Guggenheims have done, as we've seen, an amazing job of putting people together in place to allow them to do the job necessary to get it done.
It would be if it would almost be like getting Shaq. Imagine getting Shaq at 24 years old, but it's an ownership. It's just remarkable what they've done since 2013. And the correlation of the previous ownership of the Dodgers is almost very similar to the way Jeannie's running things. I don't think Jeannie's as bad of a person. I don't think Jeannie's a bad person. But Frank McCourt is a jizz stain. She's not that bad, but in terms of the leadership, it's just as frustrating. People that have no business running a professional team. So the campaigning to that has to start. And to save the Lakers from this disaster, there needs to be a shift. And I would prefer an owner that owns everything. I do that in my own business. When I talk to people that make the decisions, the questions always revolve around, are you the decision maker? If you do have someone that precedes you, are they going to make the decision or are you going to make the decision? Well, in certain cases, the people that they've bestowed that decision-making process to them, they're the decision maker, but there's someone up there. And I'm okay with that. The Guggenheims are kind of like that with Stan Kasten, and then Stan Kasten to Friedman, Friedman to Brandon Gomes, Gomes to Roberts, and then so on. If that's the case, cool. But in the end, it's got to be the decision maker. It's got to be that leader that kind of that drives the car. And right now, there is no one really driving this car. Pelinka is good at probably being a general manager, but not a player personnel or a trade type guy. He's probably good at making sure the bills are paid and the maid comes in and does what she's supposed to do or what he's supposed to do. I'm sure he can do those jobs well, but as far as basketball operations, he has been an absolute pathetic bum in that department, and Jeannie has done nothing to fix it. And it's what it is. This is the reality of the LA Lakers. It's coming down. It's coming down, and I'm ready to try to somehow figure out a way to get some voices out there, as small as it is, to try and see if there's something that can change up top. It's probably a futile activity, but it's sad. It's sad that it's come to this.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Happy Halloween, everyone. It is Danzig, a.k.a. Joe Soro from LakersBall.com, and also as well, Simblades with a Y.com, along with me, Gerald Glassford, a.k.a. the Masked Lakers fan, a.k.a. Octagon in the mask right here with the Anthony Davis jersey. Thank you so much again for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to become a member today for just $2.99 a month. Worst GM, Rob Pelinka, keeps asking the question, and I keep answering it. Is Pelinka trading JHS? Let's just put it this way, and Joe will probably concur. When you do not pick up an option on a rookie deal, such as Milwaukee did with Bokamp today, and on the fourth-year deal, and the third year with JHS, that is telling the rest of the league that you do not want to see your way through at the end of the entire rookie deal. That just says that it's not working out, and unless something dramatically changes, he's going to be a free agent. So right now, he is going to be an unrestricted free agent. He is probably not going to give you much at all during the course of the year unless absolutely something changes, and it doesn't look like it. If that's the case, why would any other team want to go ahead and trade for JHS other than just taking his, getting his what, 4 million, $5 million expiring salary? I think that at this point in this time, I think it's like 4 million and change on expiring salary. I'll take a look at it here in a sec. But your thoughts, Joe? He is just not a tradable option right now because why would anybody want him?
I don't care. I don't care about JHS, and I don't. He's not an NBA player, so go to Europe. Go coach at Indiana at this point. He's
a 3.8 for this year to start with.
He's not an NBA player. The Lakers have 3 players on their bench that are not NBA players right now. He's one, Bronny's the other, and Max Christie's the other. They're not NBA players, and I'm going to make sure that everyone hears it until it finally gets stamped in your brains. We've been saying this all summer. Wake up. And Lonnie Walker is not an NBA player either. That's why he's going to Europe. Folks, enjoy the ride. Try to get some enjoyment out of the LeBron AD marriage here. But that's about it. That's about it. I hate to be doom and gloom here today, but it's just not gonna work. So I want to try to enjoy the games as much as I can, and I'm going to use each game as its own thing and try to really enjoy good basketball. But as far as competing and winning championships with this current construction, and it's not just the players and LeBron and Gene. This is all a combination of, in the end, the NBA and the NBA PA, the dipshit who ran the NBA PA, completely folding and agreeing to this horrible CBA that pretty much put the nail in the coffin for the Lakers and any team that's in their predicament to improve a team without completely going to shit before they can actually fix it.
Worst GM has a question for you. Can I ask you, Joe, what trade that can help us both the bench and the starters? Realizing that we do not have that much in assets, the 2 first rounders you could bundle together, D'Angelo's $18 million expiring salary. Now that you have the almost $4 million expiring salary of JHS, I don't know what that'll get you that can both help save, or both fix your bench and your starters' problems at the same point in time.
The only trade I had in mind, and this was so there's 0, i.e. Dame Lillard, Giannis, and I use.
Okay. Yeah, then once again, it is Joe Soro along with me, Gerald Glassford. Hopefully we get Joe back here. He did freeze up while he was explaining that. But again, with the limited amount of assets that we have as a team, remember, Lakers can only bundle their 29 and 31 draft picks along with, again, those expiring salaries. If you want to throw in Rui Hashimura, if you want to throw in a Vando, if you want to throw in, those are with Rui 18, with Vando that's 11, with Gabe Vincent that's 10. Again, are these players desirable for other teams? With D'Lo, you're only just absolutely just looking at D'Lo as far as an expiring contract. He's not a player at this time that's playing at a level that you really want to retain him for. With Vincent, you do have 2 years left on the contract. The one I think that would be really hard to trade is Vando because he's got 4 years. He's been injured already. 2 times. Well, he's coming back from the double foot surgery, and he's still injured from even last year. So he's got 4 years left on his contract. That could be still of a problem as far as going forward, as far as his availability in the trade. So we don't have the greatest assets, worst GM in the world. That's the problem. You know, Rob has created and structured a roster and I'll ask and
What was the last thing
retain
you
some.
heard?
Pardon?
What was the last thing you heard from me? I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with my
You were
computer.
going in as far as the trade assets that we have in a trade. The ones that there was one that you kind of liked, and I forgot which one it was. So
So I talked for about 5 minutes and no one heard anything.
no, I kind of
Fuck.
faded it. Sorry. Schroeder, he's having a monster season. He's getting all the ups he's getting at Brooklyn. I mean, they're tanking, but yeah, he's looking good. Rough artist. I'm losing you again. Joe, I'm losing Joe again. Yep, Joe is having some ghosts, I guess, handle his internet right now. Once again, it is Joe Soro, aka Danzig, who's not having the greatest of performances right now with his internet, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching this. Truly appreciate it. But tomorrow, it is the Lakers and the Toronto Raptors coming up at 4:30 p.m. Pacific. I will have a playback.tv / Lakers Fast Break simulcast, hopefully, if all works out well, waiting for you. Remember, I've got up to 20 VIPs that can actually watch the game along with me. If you are interested in just getting NBA League Pass, I was corrected last night. I was trying to help Sports Baby because he was trying to get off the app. I said, you need to go to the link. So I went to the link and I looked at it. It's not 10%. It's actually a savings of up to 40%. If you look at it on that affiliate link I've got down below. So if you're interested in buying NBA League Pass, whether with commercials or without, it's right there at 40% off right there for you in the description using our affiliate link. And it does help us out right here at the Lakers Fast Break and well. But yes, playback.tv / Lakers Fast Break tomorrow for the game. I'm hoping I will get in a pregame with my good friend Legend. Legend wants to stop on by and chit chat about the NBA before we go on the air with the Lakers and the Raptors. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, we'll have the post game as well, and everything will go well with that. But yes, definitely looking forward to hopefully the Lakers rebounding, getting back in the win column, and getting back out there for a great game against the Raptors. Again, if they come back home and they win the next 3 games and they come back home 6-2, I would be satisfied because Joe and I both said what were the Lakers going to do on this road trip, and we knew that the Cavaliers and the Suns would be tough games. So coming back home 6-2, I think that's a win for JJ if that's the case and that happens. So, but we'll see. No Scotty Barnes tomorrow. He's been injured. He's going to be reevaluated, I believe, in 2 to 3 weeks. So definitely looking forward to seeing what we can go ahead and do without Scotty Barnes in the lineup. Although Grady Dick has been playing very well. We'll see. RJ Barrett just came back, and he actually, I think he got over 30 the other night. So yeah, he's been playing hot as well. JSJ has the link for the affiliate. If you're interested in buying NBA League Pass, either with or without commercials, it's available for, I believe, 40% off the list price using that affiliate link in the description there below. But yes, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate it. Yes, like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe to help us out right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Intel Wild, truly appreciate the super chat. Joe, last thing we heard was you went to a Diddy party and I have to let I'll have to let him know that, Intel. That's awesome. He is just, yeah, he's probably cursing up a storm right now, trying to. I wouldn't be surprised if he just kicked his router out the window. But where's GM, says Gerald? How about Bruce Brown? Can we get him for a right price? You probably can. So his salary right now, but which Bruce Brown are you getting? Are you getting the Bruce Brown that helped out Denver in the playoffs and was a key part of the finals and how good he was, or are you getting the guy right now that's Well, actually, let's go ahead and see what he's averaging right now. He is averaging in Toronto. Oh, he's not even playing right now. So let's see what's going on with Bruce Brown. So see what's going on with Bruce Brown right now. So yeah, is he injured? Let's go ahead and see if we can find out what's going on with Bruce Brown. Yep. Find out what's going on with Bruce Brown. So I thought he was still playing in Toronto, but maybe he's injured right now. Yes, Raptors. Let's go ahead and see that. There you go. All right. So yeah, he is remains out indefinitely. Oh yeah, he's been having knee issues there, worst GM. So I don't know. Worst GM. I mean, I don't know. That's pretty shaky if he's having knee issues already. Worst GM says, I think minor tweaks can help this team. The bench is our problem. Maybe Bruce can really help our bench. Well, not if he's having knee issues. He's not helping even Toronto right now. But he remains out indefinitely. That's the last report as of 9 days ago. In fact, Sporting News came up with an updated timeline. He is out indefinitely right now. What is Bruce? He had arthroscopic surgery on his right knee. They announced in September 20th. So he's not helping anybody right now. He'll be reevaluated 3 weeks from the initial September 20th announcement. Okay, so he's already been looked at and he's still out right now. He has not played a game as of yet. Hopefully he'll be coming back soon. But yeah, put him in the right around the same time frame as Christian Wood, because Christian Wood recently had arthroscopic surgery as well. Yes, Bruce Brown. Unfortunately, yeah, he is not the same Bruce Brown that was with Denver. So that's the problem right there. Worst GM. I don't know if he can really get you where you need to go. Maybe as a guy coming off the bench, he could be okay. He does have, I think. Let me check one for a moment, please. He's got his contract right now. What 20 something million? I'm gonna take a look at that right now. His contract right now is 23 million. So that would be you'd have to trade D'Lo, and you'd also have to trade JHS, and you trade one more player, probably a minimum value contract like Maxwell Lewis or Christian Wood or something like that in order to get him. But yes, is he moving the needle for your bench enough? And I don't think he's the same player that he once was in Denver. So unless he shows us differently when he's in Toronto before the trade deadline, because if he gets healthy, he is going to probably be showcased. But remember, in order to get a trade like that, it's also $23 million coming off the books for Toronto, which could be appealing. Like we talked about yesterday with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is going to be harder to trade because he's $40 million coming off the books at the end of the season. And these guys, these teams do like expiring contracts because it helps free up cap space for them to allow to make different choices and better choices. So before you take a look at that, I wouldn't say it's not impossible, but yeah, Bruce Brown has to start looking good. If he does start looking good, then he becomes more attractive in the trade. But yeah, it's something that I don't think that he is the same player that he was during that stretch run by Denver. So I think when you talk about Bruce Brown, you're talking about how he was fondly remembered during his Denver time, but there was a reason why Indiana traded him so quickly after signing him to that 2-year deal for $45 million. So yeah, I would be hesitant to go ahead and trade for Bruce Brown unless I saw him put out consistent games, and he's not even back from arthroscopic knee surgery yet. Worst GM, so I would probably look somewhere else that could give a better boost off the bench. But Joe's back with us now. Joe, I know you're not happy with your internet, but we won't stay on much longer because of it. But my friend, before we head on out, any thoughts on the Lakers and Toronto tomorrow? Again, if they come back home 6-2, I think that's a win, man. They win the next 3 games.
Yeah, they have a good chance of probably beating Toronto and Detroit, but Memphis is going to be the one where they're going to need to really step up and make something happen. I'm just worried that they're going to tax themselves if they do. The taxing is the problem. That's what I'm worried about. And December 15th is a long ways. But then again, I don't know who would matter that would be able to trade after December 15th. It would be Max Christie. Who else?
Well, Max Christie, Gabe Vincent?
I mean, those guys are. I mean, Gabe Vincent is available
Yeah,
now.
Max Christie's the only one that signed.
Yeah,
Because remember, they didn't make any moves. So most everybody on the roster is going to be eligible to be traded.
right. And Pelinka had said he's going to give this 25 games, which is right around that date. I just don't know what he's going to do. We're going to have to wait a month and a half before anything gets done.
Well, I'm looking up the numbers now. Where's GM? Because I know that the Collick Sexton Walker Kessler trade that you're proposing has been talked about several times over the past couple of weeks on our show. You're probably to see between them, that's about $21 million. To trade Walker Kessler, they're going to ask for 2 picks for him. He may not be worth it, but Ainge is going to probably not going to budge off of him unless you're going to get 2 picks from it. Because remember, there's other teams out there that need a center, like New Orleans. New Orleans needs a center. There's other teams out there that need a center, and New Orleans has more assets, Joe, than what the Lakers have right now.
You're going to give a guy who makes $2.5 million 2 first-round picks? What are you, nuts?
I didn't say that. I said Danny
Not you.
Ainge.
Not you. I'm talking to Danny Ainge. Who the hell's going to give Utah 2 first-round picks for Kessler?
Sexton is a nice backup, but he is not gelled well.
That's ridiculous. No one is going to give Danny Ainge 2 first-round picks. That's like that's like a frugal a-hole going to a car dealership and saying, "I want this Camry for 30 grand" when its MSRP is 45.
Mm-hmm.
And there's guys out there that do that, and Danny Ainge is one of them. No one is paying him 2 first-round picks for Kessler.
You would only need Wood and D'Lo to make that trade, worst GM, but to make the salaries match. So that's all you would need.
There's very little there. Matching won't be an issue with that, especially with the dingleberries we have on this team.
Mm-hmm.
So if you attached a useless player, which the Lakers have about 6 of those right now, to a well-protected lottery first-round pick, sure, give it a shot. But is it going to make a difference? A little bit more. They still need a perimeter guy that can score.
Sexton played well last year, but this year he's gotten off to a struggling start, and I think he was just demoted to the bench, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't forget, before I got cut off, is my internet working well now?
Yeah, you're smooth right now.
Good. I absolutely turned everything off. My modem, my router, my lights, the city, the county, everything. That trade in Atlanta would be something that might help, which was the Bogdanovich and Clint Capella. Because you solve both problems there. Someone that can play down low, center, big guy, and then also someone who can score, which is what Connect's likely ceiling is Bogdanovich. So you expedite your rookie future guy by actually getting the guy that I've had him comped at, but he's ready to go. So imagine if you had those 2 guys kind of playing off each other, maybe in certain times, he'd probably, pick up the slack a little bit more even.
We had our opportunity for Nick Richards last year. Now he's killing it with Mark Williams out of the lineup. There's no way you guys are going to get him now for $5 million. I understand that's his contract, but he is averaging a double-double and also providing rim protection for Charlotte. He's playing very well for them. Even when Mark Williams comes back into the fold, he is going to get a lot of time for them. He's proving now that he can be a starting center in the league, Joe. And I don't. It's going to take a lot of assets in order to probably move him as well. He's just $5 million, but he's already showing out for his next contract. if there's anybody that's going to probably get him, and if he gets traded by Charlotte, if their season goes south, I would say my first guess would be New Orleans because they have more assets and they have a gaping hole in the middle that's even larger than the Lakers. I mean, because they're struggling. They're struggling to start the season. Zion's struggling because I think they're trying to put him as center. It's not looking good right now in New Orleans.
Yeah, I would say there's probably more depression. Well, I don't know if it's more depression in New Orleans. People in New Orleans don't give two shits about the Pelicans, anyways. That's not coming from me. That's coming from people that I know that live in Baton Rouge, or at least did before they moved a few months ago. Zion Williamson he was supposed to be the next guy, and unfortunately, he's not. It looks like he's going to be a mid-tier type player. New Orleans doesn't know what to do with Brandon Ingram. They're kind of stuck in the mud. So I don't know. I don't know what New Orleans is going to do. I'm not really going to rely on players that the Lakers can't get going to New Orleans. I don't even know what that means. The Lakers got to just, I guess, put their heads down, keep playing as well as they can. It's just that the highly young and versatile and athletic and really, really good shot making teams are going to put a hurting on the Lakers. Maybe not at the beginning of games when LeBron and AD are in there and the starters, but it's going to hurt in the second and fourth quarters. It's going to be tough.
Let's say you had the choice, Joe, to make a trade for either Capella or Jonas. Now, Capella is on an expiring contract of, I think, about $20-something million off the top of my head. And Jonas is in that first year of a 3-year deal for $30 million. Jonas just got moved back in the starting lineup because their rookies have not been lighting up the fire. Although Koulibaly has looked like the real deal so far for Washington. But who would you take, Capella or Jonas at this point in time?
Well, I'll take Jonas, of course, but I don't know how that would be possible.
Oh, he's going to be traded. They signed him on that contract. Washington did because they know they're going to trade him probably sooner rather than later.
And there is a little bit
it's
of
only
hope.
a $10 million per year.
Maybe Washington working with the Lakers in the past. I'm crossing my fingers that maybe Washington throws a bone back to Rob Pelinka, because they Washington essentially killed the Lakers by sending Russell Westbrook and collecting a first-round pick. They were the underlining killer of the Lakers' LeBron AD era of basketball. That was the beginning of that was the setup at the gallows before the guillotine.
Before the guillotine.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I would like to think positively on the fact that maybe Rob calls up Washington and says, "Hey, dude, please, we hooked you up last time. Can you please help us out here? Can I send you some first round picks, but heavily protected, and a few bums, a few expiring contracts as well." That's all I could think of that could be a possibility. I have been racking my brain on this. I'm not, Empire Jeff and I have been talking a lot about Dodgers and stuff, but I'm a multitasker. I'm doing a Lakers show while I'm doing the other stuff too. But so I've been thinking about this, and I've had a chance to think about it the last couple of days when the baseball stuff wasn't in front of me. And I'm trying to juggle it as best I can, trying to figure out, okay, what else can happen that can save the season? They're going to need a favor. There's going to need to be a favor handed to Rob Pelinka, otherwise it's done.
Kurt Affair, no, I didn't get a chance to see that, but that's too funny. That's too funny indeed, Kurt. That he dressed up as Andre 3000, Pascal Siakam did. Was that J Huff also dressed up as a big sweater Kuzma? That's funny. You know what? Congratulations again to J Huff getting a 4-year contract, 4-year deal. Colin Castleton is now part of the Memphis. It seems like Memphis is picking up all of our guys that we're letting go. Maybe they know something that we don't, but it's worked so far with them, with Pippen Jr. and with Jay Huff. So we'll see what happens, though, with the Lakers when they head to Memphis after hopefully 2 wins against the Toronto Raptors and also as well the Detroit Pistons. So looking forward to that. But yeah, Joe, if they come back 6-2, I think we need to take that as a positive, man. I think we need to take that in positive as a possible movement in the right direction for JJ Redick.
Yeah, and I think it's important to also understand that JJ Redick has created night and day on what the previous coach was. That's probably the most positive so far. How long will he be able to handle it before he explodes? That's kind of the next thing I'm waiting on. But it's not the tools are not there. The tools are not there. I don't know how he's going to continue to make this work with the current roster structure. There's going to need to be some kind of talent that comes in, and I don't know if it's going to be enough, even if you do get it. You get Jonas, if you get Capella and Bogdanovich, I don't know. It would depend on those draft picks and how they're protected, I guess, for the future. If they're not top 8s and if they're just, lottery protected, I think it's worth the risk. But then they're going to be able to get another pick. It's just a headache. At this point, I haven't made a decision 100% on what I think should be done because I think we've talked about it a little bit. Stone and Hanson's talked about it a little bit. He's been a little more forward in that fact that this team needs to get blown up, but they're not going to do that, so there's no sense in really talking about it. But I would recommend that you all look at each game as its own situation and enjoy the game, enjoy good basketball, because I think that's probably all we're going to be able to get this year.
But the news came down today that JHS's 3rd-year option was not picked up. So he will be a free agent at the end of the season. I think it says something, Joe, about the mistake that they made in the front office when they won't even pick up a $4 million option on JHS in his 3rd year, when he's not even worth that much to the team going forward.
I'm kind of curious what made them finally pull the trigger on that. What was the finals blow?
I mean, he's playing in the South Bay Lakers right now. He's not even on the team.
Was it? Could they have made this before today?
They could have picked. They could have done the same thing on a 2nd-year option. I think they also could have.
So they gave him a shot, see how he would play it out during the summer. They saw how he played the preseason, and they basically said, "Yeah, this is not going to work." Yeah, that's about right.
Today was the deadline for picking up options for that year.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, the Milwaukee player Bokamp also got his 4th-year option declined as well. So.
Okay. Well, that's somewhat positive. I think in the end they stretched it all as long as they could, and then here we are. It's not good. It's not good, but at least there's some closure here now.
Well, Joe and I will be back tomorrow night. I'll be back during the day to go ahead and set you up for tomorrow's game, Lakers and the Toronto Raptors. But yes, hopefully Joe will be back with me. Dancing or not, he'll be back hopefully for the post game. Looking forward to it. Maybe if he gets a chance, an opportunity as playback.tv as well. But Joe, wishing you and everyone out there the happiest of Halloweens. It's almost over now, but any last thoughts, my friend? Any trick or treats before we head on out?
I just wanted to apologize to the Laker crew here that I've been gone. It's been a it's been an amazing few weeks here for me. The Dodgers have, I didn't know what was going to happen coming into these playoffs. My instincts at the time said, how are they going to win a World Series with not even one ace? And how are they going to win a World Series without a pitcher that hasn't really played all year? Now, Jack Flattery had played the whole year. The thing is, he didn't play with the Dodgers the whole year. I had no idea how they were going to work around this. I really didn't. I kept saying, well, it looks like the Dodgers are going to have to score 7 runs to win this series, just win the whole thing. They're going to have to score every game at least 7 runs. The funny thing about that is their pitchers came through big time, and especially their bullpen, and they still almost scored 7 runs a game. So they needed to do both, and they did. And I'm just very proud of them. I'm very, very proud of the Dodgers, and I'm very proud to see excellence somewhere. The Dodgers have shown a professionalism that I think needs to start being more told, win or lose, and we've been ungrateful. I've been hard on Roberts, and I'm not regretting it. He has made some terrible calls in the past, but boy, did he make up for it this year. Whew.
He pushed the right buttons this time around.
And the thing is, he did it the way we've been begging him to do it. A lot of us know how baseball works. Yes, I know I've never managed in the major leagues. I know I've never played baseball in the major leagues, but we know I know baseball, and sometimes you got to stay away from the sheet and go with what you're seeing at that moment. And my God, did he do it? And he did it over and over again. And it's no accident that since he started doing that this thing worked. And that's the beauty of this. Is it winning cures it all? But at the same time, he did the right stuff, the stuff we were begging him to do as dedicated Dodger fans and huge baseball people. And I'm just elated. I've been watching Dodger stuff all day on YouTube, on my phone, on TV, working, listening to it on the radio. It's just been we're gonna be doing baseball stuff probably every day until the pitchers report to spring training in February. And then, of course, we're going to do our best to look at the Lakers season as a chance to see some good basketball. At least that's where I'll be.
It was
And
so amazing to see that it was more popular in Japan. More people watched it in Japan than in the U.S.
baseball, I used to say, if you don't like baseball, it's because your brain is slow. You can't handle slow. It's those people who can't watch The Godfather because it's too slow. And I usually have the same response to that, as in, well, maybe you needed to be on the short bus. That's why. And of course, there's an insult meter there. And what the like, how do you not like baseball? How do you not like baseball? It's too slow. You're slow. You're weak. You can't pay attention. It's the same people who always yap about, well, why do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care? They don't care about you. And then you walk and you look at and see what they do all day. All they do is work, worry about some person at home that's telling them what to do, go to work, sleep, eat, and shit. I go, what do you do all day? That's what we all should do. Not give a shit about anything, not do anything except go to work, go home, and just exist. No, sorry. Competition, the elation of winning is the greatest drug that God ever made. Winning. I might not be winning as part of a team that's playing, but the fandom matters. It does feel the same to us on this side. It feels we're invested in it, and the endorphins and the excitement and the gratification is real. We love our teams, and the Dodgers have given us every reason to respect them and to follow them and to praise them and to spend all that time watching their product. They have invested in it in a class and professional way. And our response as a fandom, we thank you guys. And we're going to buy your shirts and we're going to buy your hats because you guys have put a product on TV that is grade A. Win or lose, it's been grade A. And that means something in life sometimes. There's a balance. Can't always be all work and having to do stuff. Sometimes watching something that balances things out and gives you that energy. It really, really, really feels good. The Lakers, I said this on the show yesterday with Empire Jeff. The Lakers have given me, let's say, me as a fan, 6 championships. I'm always going to love the Lakers, despite who the owner is. They've already given me enough. I've seen some of the greatest players I've seen, and they're wearing Laker gear too. On top of that, LeBron, Kobe, Shaq, Magic. I mean, come on, man. I've seen amazing. If the Lakers cease to exist today, there are memories I can take to my grave and say I saw the best stuff I've ever seen, and it was my team. I guess it could be worse. I could be a New Orleans Pelican fan or a Charlotte Hornet fan. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But I'm hoping. Last thing I'll say here before you go out, I'm starting the ball a little bit here. I'll be mentioning it every now and then here and there. And by the way, Bloodhound, there's no such thing as a second team in my book. There's only one team. I have this discussion with a lot of my family members and friends. Oh well, I root for the Cardinals and the Chargers and the Lions. I'm like, well, what the hell what is this charge? Like, pick one. Pick one. Why? Because you lived in Arizona, now you're a Cardinals fan. The fam is from Detroit, so there's a allegiance to that. And then San Diego used to look like, what is this? What is this? Well, are you a real fan? Real fans, unless the team goes defunct. Like, let's say the San Diego Chargers moved to LA. That's kind of considered a dead team, right? They moved to LA. It's not really the same team. I'll give you that one, where if you want to switch teams, I get that one. But beyond something like that, or the Cleveland Browns going under in 96, no, you got to stick with one team and roll with it. There's no second, there is no third, there is no fourth. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I couldn't give 2 shits about the Houston Texans or the Cleveland Guardians. I don't give 2 craps. I'll enjoy their games as a baseball fan. I'll enjoy certain players, but that's it. I invest in 3 teams: Steelers, Lakers, Dodgers. And I'm all in, and I've been all in, and that's it. There's never been anyone else.
Before we go, Intel Wild with another super chat. Thank you so much again for all the super chats. You truly appreciate it. It does help us out.
Jay, here, I'm sorry, Gerald, didn't mean to interrupt. No Jay, I was born in 1978, so I'm going to give you a tally. Granted, I say 6 because those are the years I'm coherent enough to understand what I'm watching. And what I mean by that is I'm not 2 years old. I don't know what the hell's going on when I'm 2. I don't remember anything, right? So, but let's put it in perspective here. Steelers, Lakers, Dodgers. Since 1978, I was born March 1, 1978. 1978, the Steelers won the Super Bowl that year, and then the following year they won a Super Bowl. The Dodgers won a World Series in 81. The Lakers won 5 titles in the 80s. So, since I've been alive, not focused on, I can't really go all in on the 5 championships in the 80s with the Lakers the World Series in 81. I was watching the 88 one, and I remember that vividly. That was when I first got into baseball. So 88, I consider my championship as a viewer. So the ones that I don't affiliate myself with is the two Super Bowls the Steelers won in 78, 79, and then 81 Dodgers World Series, and then the 5 championships in the 80s. I wasn't in it in that, even in 88. I wasn't in the Laker, like, so right out the gate, what is that? 6, 7, 8, 8 championships?
Yep.
8 championships. And then you forward to 88 Dodgers, the 6 championships that the Lakers won, and then 2 Super Bowls that I watched for the Steelers, and then the other 2 World Series. So 3 World Series, 2 Super Bowls, that's 5 plus 6, 11 championships plus 8, 19 championships for my teams while I was alive.
And
Pretty
there
nuts.
you go.
Pretty nuts.
That is a lot of success there. Before we head on out, Intel Wild with a super chat. He says, rolling down the Imperial Highway with a big nasty redhead at my side. Santa Ana winds blowing hot for the north, and we as born to ride. So yes, taken from I Love LA from Randy Newman. And absolutely, that song was playing or will be playing tomorrow for the parade. Are you heading for the parade, my friend?
No, I've been to a couple parades in LA after championships, and I just saw a video of a guy blow his hand off from fireworks. People in LA are the bad ones are absolute gutter trash, and I don't want to be anywhere near them.
Okay.
The people last night that were blowing off their hands, you are stupid, and natural selection should have been in your face so you cannot damage anybody else with your stupidity. And those who vandalized stores and cars, I hope you all are stricken with the worst diseases for your garbage. Yes, I'm being harsh because those people are trash and they deserve to be somewhere else and not here. But for those who are going to enjoy it, I hope you have fun. I hope this helps you kind of get out of whatever problems you have. And that's the beautiful thing about sports too, is you forget it's the balance again. You forget maybe some of the things going on because of the euphoria. And there is a huge community there, people that it does become a positive in and around neighborhoods and different cultures and things like that. That's what sports does too. It's just the 5-10% nimrods that are out there ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah, I just saw the guy that blew his fingers off. That was not really smart at all.
Lighting a firework on your hand or holding it is probably one of the dumbest. And motorcycle guys cutting in and out of lanes. I see it every day, and there's at least one death here a month from a bike. Stupidity is such a selfish thing sometimes when it comes to those kind of activities, because there are parents that have to deal with that. A child that's hurt or dead. Selfishness comes from that, and that's the part that really irritates me, because I've been in and around that, people close to me that have made stupid decisions that ended up costing people that I love a lot of grief. I didn't ride a bike ever in my life because I didn't want something to happen and have my father lose his only son, because that would have killed him. It was the one that lasted probably a week. So why can't you do that to the people around you? Do you really need to light up a firework in your hand? Do you really need to cut lanes on a bike with shorts and flip-flops too, by the way? Do you really need to do that? You don't care about your people around you? Yes, I'm giving you a life lesson, folks. Yes, I'm getting deep, but it's important because we are talking about a Dodger parade. and I just don't want anybody. I don't want any of these you know what's to screw it up. Play it well tomorrow, please. Can we want to enjoy this? I was at the 2001 Laker parade where Lawrence Tanter's screaming on the PA, telling everyone to stop throwing bottles in the crowd. That's how stupid and garbage those people were. There were kids everywhere, by the way. All it took was one broken glass to hit some kid in the face, or anybody for that matter. Just absolute asinine morons, guys that don't belong here.
I
So
remember that when, yeah, that's how Jason Pierre-Paul blew his. He did the same thing. Yeah.
yeah, and Jason Pierre-Paul was always a moron too, even before he blew his hand off. So I wasn't surprised when he did that.
But okay, the celebration for the Dodgers parade is tomorrow.
At 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. If you have Sportsnet, it'll be on there. I think the MLB Network will probably show it a little bit, but I would highly recommend if you can get it, the Spectrum LA. Sportsnet LA is going to be the one that's going to show the whole thing. I'm going to record it and try to enjoy it as best I can. I might be out and about, but I can see it on my phone.
But for us tomorrow, we'll be playing on playback. Playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Toronto and the Lakers will be back tomorrow with the pregame, postgame. It's Danzig, everyone. Danzig right there for you, along with me, the masked Lakers fan. Wishing you well. Hope you had a safe and happy Halloweens. And we'll go ahead and make sure that we're taking care of you tomorrow. Lakers and the Raptors tomorrow. Hoping you had a happy and safe Halloween. From all of us right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Anything from you, Danzig? No high notes? No anything like that? No? Okay. All right. Well, happy Halloween, everyone. Be safe.